Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Balatro, which is a video game based on a card game. And for some reason, I don't know why, every time almost that I've mentioned Balatro to somebody who hadn't heard of it, they pronounced the name of it wrong. And I don't know. It's just one of those names, I guess, but I'm pretty sure Balatro is correct. I'm also pretty sure it's not Baltaro. I can't even remember the other ones I heard. That was the one I remembered. I started playing this game after a couple friends got pretty far in it, and here's where I'm kind of at right now. So I've found most of the consumables. I've completed some of these categories on the right here, but I'm still not. I haven't even unlocked all the decks. Apparently there are 15 decks. I found 9, and the way I've been playing is I've been going through each deck and playing it on the lowest difficulty, and then in theory, if I finish that, I will play on the next difficulty up. But for now, I am stuck on the black deck. So the way that this works when you play Balatro, it is roguelite in nature, where you have different runs, and each run you start from a fresh slate, and you can pick what you want to sort of go with for that run. Each of the decks that you can pick from has some quirks to it. So the red deck gives you an extra discard, and we'll talk about the actual gameplay once we get into it. The blue deck gives you an extra hand. I'll just go through a couple of these because I don't want to spoil too much, though you will. I have unlocked many jokers, as you saw, so you will see some spoilers in this video, just because they'll be around while I'm playing. Yellow decks start with extra money, and so on. And each time you defeat a deck, you unlock another one. And then you also have the option to play that deck on a higher stake. So white stake is like the easiest, and then I guess red stake is, oh God, is this how many stakes there are? I'm never gonna, I'm never gonna finish all these, with all the trouble I've been having on this one deck. But anyway, um, that's kind of how it works. You pick your deck, you pick your stake, and I'm just gonna start on the black deck. Maybe recording this will give me the luck I need to win. So this gives you one extra joker slot, and we'll talk about what those are, but it does reduce the number of hands you get each round, which I think is what's tripping me up so bad. So we'll play here. And then when you start, and also in between each round, I'm not sure about the terminology, but you have a choice of playing the game, and this is the score you need to defeat that round, or you can skip it and get this bonus. So this is a really good bonus, honestly. I might skip this one. But the downside to skipping is that you do not get the prize money, and then also you get one less shop round, because instead of playing this, going to the shop, and then coming back, you skip it entirely and you play the next one. So you have one fewer shop between the games before you get to the boss run at the end. So you can see sort of in advance what we're going to face here. We've got to score 300 points, and then we have to score 450 points, and then this one has an effect that it applies. There's a different effect for each boss. It's randomly selected to a point. There are some that only show up as like the final boss, and some of those are the ones that I haven't seen yet. But here we have the pillar and all the cards played previously in this anti-RD buff. So for this one, I usually do like to skip at least one, because the more cards I play, the harder this round is. So you can look in advance and see what's the effect of this boss and how can I prepare for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this first one. We see that skipped. We have this little tag here that makes all the cards and booster packs in the next shop free. We do have another one, but I'm not going to skip this one. I am going to play this one because I found that earning money and getting through those shops is really important on the black deck. Thanks to, I think, Dan for that suggestion. because I have been struggling with this deck for so long. I've been begging people for help. I've been begging anyone for help. So if you got any pro tips, do be gentle. I'm not a professional, but I would really like to beat the black deck so I can move on. Anyway, here's the game. Here's the actual game part of the game. So you have a hand of cards. The amount of cards you get for your hand, I think, is 8 by default, and then there are different things you can do to get more or less of these. We have 3 hands we can play, and we can do 3 discards. And when you discard, you basically select a number of cards. You can do up to 5, and then it won't let you select any more. And you can discard them, you get new ones, but it does use up one of your discards there. And then in order to play the hands and score, if you're familiar with poker, apparently this game is not based on poker, it's based on a different card game, but it uses all the same hand types as poker. So you have high card. I don't want to mouse over them because it pops up this annoying pop-up here, but we have high card pair, 2 pairs, 3 of a kind, a straight, which is they're in a row, so they count up one by one or down depending on which way you look at it. The flush is all of the same suit. Full house is 3 of a kind and a pair, like that. And then these ones are trickier to get. I'm always chasing the straight flush. It's just so pretty. Like it's just everything matches up neatly. I don't know. I love getting the straight flush. And then there are also some like specialty hands that you can only get because of how this game works that are not listed here. But I'll leave you to find those unless I happen upon one in this game. We can also check, here's the blinds and where we're at. And then we haven't gotten any vouchers. These are kind of like buffs that you can buy. So I'll show you those. But what we want to do is we want to play a hand that will give us the most points. And I'll talk about how the points are scored when we get there. But what I see here is that I've got almost a full straight. So I'm going to discard a couple. Alright, we're gonna get rid of these ones too. No. Okay, it just doesn't want to give us a 10 or a 5. We only have one more discard. I could go for 2 pair, but I know for this one I'm gonna need a pretty high, like, level hand to get this, and I'm a little scared. I could try to go for a full house, but then I lose my chance at the straight here. Here, let's see if we could get a 10. Yes, okay. Alright, so we got a straight there. And so the way that worked, it was kind of quick because I have the game speed up. It's slower by default, but everyone told me to turn it up, so I did. But basically, each card adds its number of chips to the blue side of this little equation here. And then this side is the multiplier side. And so if we look at these, the hands themselves also have scores. So for example, the straight scores 30 chips times 4 multiplier, and then the amount of the cards gets added to this one as it's scored, and then it multiplies them to get the final number. And then we're gonna get some cards that affect how that works, basically. All right, we are out of discards, and sometimes it's a good idea to just play like a trash hand to try and get some cards out of the way here if you're out of actual discards. I see we almost have another straight. We would need a 7. And I'm not sure we're gonna get one, but let's try. We might have to start over this run, which is the story of my life. Alright, here we go. We aren't dead yet. Okay, now we go to this little scoring screen, get our money. Oh, and now we have the shop. So because I got that tag when I skipped, all of these are 0. Usually they do have prices. The voucher is, there's 1 voucher for each ante. So like each set of 3 rounds is 1 ante. But this is a pretty good one. I like this one. I can't afford it right now, but I am gonna grab this. So this is a Joker card, and up here at the top is where you put your Joker cards. And there's usually you can have 5 on the default settings. On this run, we can have 6, and then there's different things you can do to get more or less capacity. But this is a particularly good one, and the way that Jokers work is described in their little window here. So this one says played aces gives plus 20 chips and 4 mult when scored. And then also, in addition to the card itself, it also has this polychrome effect, which is a random effect that cards can have. You can do things to like add them to cards, but this one is the best. It's the most powerful one. It actually multiplies the multiplier. So if you have like an 8 multiplier, this will times that by 1.5, give you 12 multiplier. So you really can stack up these different effects and get a very powerful like collection of Joker cards. It's just hard to do on the black deck because the scores are relatively high and you have fewer hands that you can use to get the scores. So I think we are gonna probably sell this one. The straight flush is so rare, I usually don't like to level this up, but there are these planet cards that can level up the actual hand. So if I were to level this up, the straight flush, these two would increase. I forget by how much. It might say here. Yeah, by 3 mult and 40 chips. You can also open these booster packs. So this is very, very roguelite and I like it a lot. But there's just all these different little power-ups that you can buy, and it gets more, you get more familiar with them as you play. It's kind of hard to understand just watching, but the standard pack gives you just cards to add to your deck, which is kind of fun. And then we see another different type of card here. This is a glass card, which means when you play it, it gives you a ×2 multiplier, but it can destroy the card when you use it. So that's kind of fun. These are just normal cards. And unfortunately, none of these are aces, which is kind of the only thing I have a bonus for right now. I'm just going to grab the glass card. I don't know. And then the Arcana packs are tarot cards. And tarot cards are like the planet cards in that you can use them, but they do some different things. So this one will destroy 2 cards. This one will make 1 card a lucky card, and it says there what the lucky card does. So it gives you money, a steal card, creates a random joker. I might do the random joker just to see what we can get here. We do get to choose 2 for this pack because it was a more expensive one typically. So I'll use extra joker, gave me plus hand size. And then I guess I'll do lucky. I'll just go big. If I don't have a plan to use a different card, I'll just power up the higher scoring like face cards and aces. Maybe that's a mistake, I don't know. Alright, now we're gonna play the boss fight. Let's see if I can win this one. Alright, already I see we have a straight, very high scoring straight. I'm going to get rid of some of these and just see. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for this. And then we have diamonds left, so we might be able to do a flush as well. Oh, we're not gonna need to. We're not gonna need to. I forgot we had the ace card. So there we go. And it's kind of hard to see, but basically it goes through and it scores each of the cards. It applies any effects that they might have, and then it goes through the jokers from left to right. So if you have a times multiplier like this, you will want to do the plus multipliers first so that it's as high as it can be when it is multiplied. All right. Round 2. This is a fun one. There's a lot of really interesting jokers in here, and you do have to do some things to unlock them. Like some jokers are not available until you do something specific in the game. And you can see on your collection screen at the title screen, you can see hints on how to do that for a lot of them. But we do have spectral packs, which are interesting. So I'm just gonna buy this to show you what it looks like. These cards do something kind of dramatic and a little bit weird. So like this one, add polychrome to a random joker, destroy all other jokers. This one just creates copies of a card. It's like one of the more mundane ones. Destroys 5 random cards, gain $20. Adds a purple seal to a card. I might do this one on the ace, actually. I think that seems good. So you select it, and then you can use it. There you go. Now we have more aces, which is going to help with this card. Another little roguelite thing that is in this game, and actually I'm not sure this is a roguelite thing. I've only seen it in TFT, but for every $5 you have in your bank, you earn an extra dollar of interest. So we want to keep some money in the bank. There are some decks where the interest works differently, but this one it works normally. So I'm just going to go to the next round, just have a look. I've noticed, like I mentioned before, it's better to mostly play the blinds instead of skip them on this one. I can get farther that way usually, but sometimes it's just a really good bonus. I'm not seeing anything I like here, so we're just gonna play it. All right, I see I have a lot of hearts. I have a couple of aces. Maybe we get a full house with jacks and aces here. Not quite. We did get a flush. I am gonna sell this. I forgot to. All right. I think we will do a flush here. Because we have the polychrome, so we're gonna be kind of okay for a little bit, I think, in terms of score. The difficulty does ramp up, as you can see now. We need to get 800, and it started at 300 and slowly goes up. This one is good. Every 6 hands played, we get a big boost. It's kind of like a, like a sandwich. A sandwich card. You can see we got our punches in here, our punch card. So I'm gonna get this. I don't think I've ever used this one. It's very specific. Okay, I have 13 gold. I could get a card. I think I'm gonna go to the next round. Alright, yeah, I'll do this. Alright, I see we have a straight here. I'm gonna... Alright, see, the polychrome really helps. We got that done. Now, another thing I haven't done, because I just don't really do it that often, is reroll. The reroll for me is just a bit expensive. Alright, I usually like to pick up one of these. There's a card like this for every suit. But I think we have more diamonds than anything else, so we probably want to try and get the diamond one. I am going to buy and use this to upgrade the flush. I've noticed on the black deck, you pretty much have to get like at least a straight on most of your hands to make these scores because of that reduced hand number on this one. But I think we're going to keep the 13. We're going to go again. This reduces our hand size. It is offset by this joker, which gives us +1 hand size. So we just have a normal hand for this one. All right, I see 3 queens. I want to try and get... I would love to get a full house. Okay. We did it. No aces in there, but hopefully the next hand will have some aces. Still don't see any. All right. All right. I want the biggest chance to get some aces here, but if we do get a queen, we could also do a straight. No queen. 2 hands though. And this is usually where I mess up, where I'll either chase the more rare thing. There's only 1 queen left in the deck. And at any point you can look here. You can see what's left. You can see what suit it is. And sometimes this gets a little tricky with the boss blinds because they will hide certain cards sometimes. And then the numbers are not reliable. But I'm trying to think here. We're not gonna get any more jacks, because that's all of them. Alright, we'll just do this again. We can't. We're gonna have to play this hand. It's not gonna score very high. Alright, well we got some aces. Is this enough to win this round? I don't have a lot of hope that it is, but I'm not gonna do the math to figure it out, so we're just gonna play it. Okay, we did it. Sometimes even when I do the math, it's like wrong. But this is Balatro, and as you see more of the jokers and as you see more of the decks and the different like effects that they have on things, you can play some really fun like quirky runs as you get like specialty jokers. Like this one is silly. I've played with this one before. Basically, this card eats enhanced cards. So enhanced cards are the ones, if I remember right, they're like the glass ones, the ones with the multiplier. I can't remember which things are enhancements specifically, but this card gets stronger the more of the enhanced cards that it can like slurp the enhancement off of. This one focuses on not using discards. So each card you discard reduces the multiplier. So there's all kinds of interesting things like that. The vouchers are interesting, and there are like upgraded versions of these that you can unlock by doing different things. So it's just like a fun roguelite. You can just sort of play it and play it and play it, and that's kind of been a problem for me because I've gotten so stuck, but I feel like I just want to keep trying. So it definitely has that just one more kind of addictive quality to it. I wouldn't recommend it if you've got like important things you need to be doing. But I've really been enjoying it in spite of the frustration of being stuck. But we're just gonna play out the rest of this until I lose, and we're gonna call it a day. Alright, so let's see. I have the aces, I have the multiplier. I do love my discards. I basically can't ever do anything like this. Let's just grab this. I don't know if this is worth buying, but okay, then I'm gonna grab a tarot card pack. Alright, so we can make... We basically have all enhancements here. I generally like the multiplier enhancements. I'm just gonna do... Actually, I'm gonna do the ace and maybe this queen. And the cards that show up here for you to enhance when you use the tarot card are just random from your deck. Sometimes you get a really good set that are exactly what you want, and sometimes you don't. Doubles your money, not really useful now. We only have $6. We've almost got a flush right here. So I'm gonna try and get that maybe. You can also sort the cards by different things. I am not getting any more cards, or hearts rather. So we're just gonna play a straight here. This one gets our multiplier, I think. Or the next one? Okay, that it's shaking now, so it's active. Alright. We have the glass card. We got our heart flush. This one's gonna get the ×4. There we go. I haven't really gotten like a cohesive strategy here. I've just got a mishmash of joker cards. So let's try and get a joker card that's gonna be better. Flushes and straights can be made with 4 cards, can be powerful. I'm gonna grab this one and see what I can do with it. I think I'm gonna keep the money. Oh, this one sucks. This boss blind sucks. I hate it, but we're gonna have to play it. Alright, so we got a full house right off the bat. I don't know if that helps. A flush would be better. So maybe we try to get the flush. And it's better specifically because we've upgraded it. So the score is higher than a full house. Typically it wouldn't be better. Oh, you know what? I forgot that we had just got that card, so we only need 4. There we go. Not really enough points, though, for what I need. Okay, see, we've almost got... There's another joker that lets you skip a number. So we could do a straight here if we had that card as well, but I don't. So we're just gonna try and get a jack here. There we go. Okay. We got a couple of multipliers there. A straight. The straight is not leveled up, but that's gonna have to be fine. I think we lose here. Maybe. We'll have to see. It'll be close. Alright, we got a full house there. Is that gonna do it? I don't think so. I think I've got to use an ace. I've got to use an ace because I just don't have... I don't have enough juice. Okay. It didn't help me. I don't have any flushes. So I guess we do the full house with jacks and the 5. And I think we do lose here, but let's see. Let's let the math work itself out. Yeah, there we go. So this is what it looks like when you lose. I'm actually a little surprised that the first run I did today I got so far. But what you want to try and do is get to ante 8 and defeat ante 8. That's the sort of the end of the run. And then after that you do have the choice to go into endless mode, which is extremely hard. But if you ever want to try and defeat a round that you like maybe got really close on, or potentially if you're doing speed runs and you want to try a specific seed, you can see the seed here of the run you just did, and then in the starting run options there's an option to put in the seed. So I don't know, maybe you can play this and do better. That's not a challenge. I'm not going to ever try this again, but it's there if you want. Let's see, VLZ69, nice, TIH. But you can kind of see your stats here, your most played hand, your best hand, the round you got to, the different cards that you played and bought and threw away. I apparently have made a new discovery. I'm not sure what this was, so I'm gonna go check here. I'm assuming this means I've discovered something for my collection, but no? Huh, I don't know what that means. Because if you've unlocked any new things here, it will have a little exclamation point on it. But I don't see anything, so I'm not sure what that was referring to. Anyway, that's Balatro. I would recommend it. It's not too expensive. I think it was like $15. It probably will go on sale at some point, but it did just come out, so maybe not going on sale anytime soon. One thing I will mention, actually, that I had forgotten about, but there is an effect on the screen by default. It's this CRT effect, and I don't know for sure, but I think it was giving me headaches. Something was making me feel bad playing Balatro. I don't know if it was like a motion sickness thing or just an eye strain thing, but I started feeling really bad while playing Balatro, and I don't know if turning the CRT effect off helped, but it didn't hurt. So if that's something that can bother you, there's a couple of settings in here for affecting how the various graphics look that might help with that. So I just wanted to mention that because I think it was making me feel a little sick. But overall, very good game. I'm so inspired by the developer. I don't know if it's a one-person team or a one developer team with other people on it. That wasn't clear from the things that I read, but it is an extremely small team, and I'm always so inspired when I see little tiny teams doing really well, selling their game, making a great game that's super fun. And so I just wanted to talk about it. But that's all I've got for today. I didn't mention at the beginning, but I'm Savalian. I should probably say who I am at the beginning. Oh well, I'll get him next time. But I'm Savalian. I make videos about games, development, and creativity. And on that note, I think we've got a fun little dev vlog coming up soon. I've been working on my game a lot. Not as much as I could because I got sidetracked with a different project that I'm going to announce later this year, but I have been working on my game and I've got some cool stuff to show you. So don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see that. And I'll be back soon with another video, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye.